Hi, Lee Yoder here with Threefold Real Estate Investing. So you've decided you want to start investing passively in real estate. And one thing we've talked about that you're going to have to make a decision on is what market you want to invest in. What kind of market, and then choose a few markets that you actually want to do your real estate investing. So the first thing many people think about is proximity. A lot of people want to invest in a market that's close to them. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you live in a really good market, or maybe you're just really passionate about investing in your local market because you think you can improve that market. If that's what you've decided you want to do, that's great. But the great thing about investing passively in real estate is that you don't have to live close to your investments. You're relying on a sponsor to manage those properties, to operate that investment. So you can invest anywhere in the country. So I wouldn't let proximity be a big determinant on the market that you choose. Two very important factors when choosing a market are population growth and job growth. And these two kind of go hand in hand. So you want to look for markets, especially if you're looking for appreciation, you want to look for markets where people are generally moving. So you want to see population growth. You want to look maybe at the past 10 years and then look at the past 2 years. So what's the long-term trend? What's the shorter trend? Another thing you want to think about when choosing a market is the crime rate. People don't want to live in high crime areas. For the most part, you live in high crime areas because you have to, not because you want to. So you can still invest in those areas. You may be able to find a good deal in those areas because not a lot of people do want to invest in those areas. And the reason being, you're just not going to be able to get the same rent and the same appreciation. When thinking about the demand for your real estate, you want to think about average income for an area. You can look at household income, and is that at a level that is going to allow you to raise rent, or to at least achieve the rent that you're going after for your apartment building or your retail space, whatever it is. So let's use an apartment as an example. Property managers will not let a resident move in if they cannot afford the rent. And they typically want to see people making 3 times the rent per month. So if rent's $1,000 a month, that person needs to be bringing in at least $3,000 a month, if not $4,000. You'd like it to be 4 times if you can. So if you're trying to charge, $1,000 a month in rent, it's $12,000. The people in the area have to be making at least $36,000 a year, if not $48,000. So if you're in a really low income area, you're not going to be able to charge $1,000 a month in rent. So you need to look at the market and say, does the average income for the residents there, does that match my goals for what I'm trying to get out of this investment? The last thing I strongly suggest you look at is whether or not the market that you're considering is tenant-friendly or landlord-friendly. Tenant-friendly market, whether it's a state that you're looking at in general or a city, the laws are going to be skewed to favor the tenant, which means evicting someone is very difficult. If the market's landlord-friendly, you can typically evict people quicker. Those markets don't have rent controls, so you can raise rent on people when their lease is up. When a new resident comes in, you can increase the rent to the market rate. So you're typically going to see more appreciation in those areas. So that's a lot to think through, right? You might say, Lee, I'm a passive investor. I don't want to think through all this. I don't want to have to pick a market. And that's fine. That's the great thing about being a passive investor. You can educate yourself and make your own decisions on which real estate asset class you want to invest in, which market you want to invest in, or you can just choose a sponsor. And let the sponsor make those decisions for you. So if you want to get educated, do that. If you don't want to get so educated and spend so much time, feeling more like an active passive investor, then just stay passive. Find a good sponsor, somebody you know, like, and trust, and let that person choose the real estate asset class. Let that person choose the real estate market in which they want to invest, and just invest there with them. I hope this is helpful. If you want to talk more about this, you want to learn more about real estate, love for you to check us out at threefoldrei.com or reach out to us at info@threefoldrei.com.